What is going on, homies? You can see we're in a boat shop right here. We're actually at Cabela's, and right behind me is my new Nitro Z20. Yeah, that's the boat, dude. This thing is so super pimp. I'm so stoked about it. Let me show you this thing real quick. So we're in the process of rigging this boat. I got my buddy Mick right here with me, and then I got my buddy Giggles back there, aka Grayson, and Jason doing a bunch of work wiring the boat. What are you doing?
We're twisting it.
Twisting the wire with the drill.
So it runs to the boat easier.
So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna give you a walkthrough of how we're actually rigging the boat and the components that are going into it, because I want this thing to be as fly as I can make it, you know, to a certain point. But what we'll do too is once the boat's all rigged up, all polished, clean, and set up, we'll do a final walkthrough and I'll show you exactly how everything got set up. But what's really cool is I got a great relationship with the guys at Cabela's. They fixed my Triton in the past. They're super cool dudes. And they are rigging my boat right now. So it's nice because I can kind of be down here, hang out with them, see what their process is, maybe tweak a few things, ask them to change a few things, and really come out with exactly the rig that I want. So what we have right here is a Nitro Z20. This is the 2022 model. I went with the blue, black, and silver. This is one of the standard patterns. Maybe down the line, if I get another boat, I'll do like a custom kind of deal. But I wanted to mix it up. I've always had that red Triton or like a red or black boat. Wanted to stick with the black, but at the same time wanted to change it up a little bit. From a rigging standpoint, I got a lot of stuff on here. I want to make it as souped up as I can kind of afford, because this might be the only new boat I ever get. We'll see. But starting from the back, what we have, I got a Mercury 250 Pro XS. It's a new 4-stroke Mercury, super reliable motor. I've actually been in JT's boat a bunch. He's got a Falcon, but same concept, you know, very quiet, very efficient. It's the new style motor. It's the new style Pro XS. I had that old 2-banger on my Triton. And then I got power poles on here. I love power poles. I'm a Florida guy. We fish a lot of shallow water. I did get the blue to kind of match up with that blue pinstripe that runs across the boat right there. I figured it'd be kind of cool, you know, look a little sly, especially since I'm not going to be wrapping this boat. We're just going to run it as is with the gel coat. It looks really good. So as long as we're on the back end, let's take a look at what we got in the motor well. I got my Battleborn batteries, and what's kind of cool back here is I'm gonna run a 36-volt array. So that's my trolling motor batteries right there. If you guys can see back in there, I have a power pole charge, and then you'll notice I got 2 battery trays right there. One of those is gonna be for my AGM cranking battery, which is gonna run, you know, all the graphs and all that jazz right up there. But what I'm gonna do is actually have another Battleborn lithium battery right there. And that's what Grayson and Jason are doing right now. They're running wires. You can see some examples of them right here. Basically what we're going to do is run wires independent all the way up to the front of the boat from that extra battery to actually power my active target and my graphs that are going to be on the bow of the boat, because I'm thinking about running 3 graphs up there plus that active target and forward facing sonar in general. It eats a lot of juice, so I don't want to be out there where I get stuck. I got the power pole charged. That's good power management. It recharges your batteries as you're running around, even your trolling motor batteries. But I'll kind of want to take it like another step. So basically I'll be using an extra charger in here along with the power pole charge to charge that one battery that's going to run my graphs all up front. So what other toys do we have right here? We have a keel guard, a keel shield. I got one of these guys, and they really recommended this here at Cabela's for braking in the motor, as well as just kind of keeping track of when you have to do service. It's the Vessel View Mobile. Basically, this is going to plug into my Mercury Pro XS 250 and give me sort of a live readout of what it's doing, water pressure, temperature, as well as hours, so I know exactly when I need to bring it in for those annual services or semi-annual services. Got my power plugs for my Lowrance, which we need to go ahead and lay wire for. I have a double graph mount for the dash from Precision Sonar. So this is so I can put my 2 HDS Live Lowrances right on the dash for, you know, we're going to be in ledge season before you know it, and there's fish offshore right now, even during the pre-spawn and the spawn. So that way I can kind of scan. I do that thing where I basically have my structure scan to the right or my side scan to the right, side scan to the left, and I get that really big display, and it makes everything bigger and a lot easier to see. My buddy recommended I do these guys. These are what's called boat buckles or rod buckles. Basically, the Nitro comes with, they're kind of like a bungee cord style rod holder. Let me take you up there and show you. So this isn't my boat because we already took them off, but this gives you an example. Basically, it comes with these bungee style rod rod holders, which are pretty decent. But what's nice with those extendable rod buckles is they actually retract. So they retract inside the little sort of encasing in the side of the boat. So basically when you don't got rods on one side, that strap is away. Plus they're super tight, they're a little wider, so it gives your rods just a little more, I guess, security in strapping them down. Especially, I'm not a super fast guy, but with that 250, I should be able to run like 74 miles an hour with this boat. For all you guys interested in electronics, it takes a lot of wiring to put together a multi-graph kind of setup on a boat like this between power and networking. There's a lot of wires. You can see Grayson's actually doing it right now. He's running a bunch of stuff. Those are all power wires, but you also have to have all your Ethernet, which is the network cable, as well as your NEMA 2000, which is kind of like the old school network cable. So I have Ethernet cable, I have a NEMA network extension cable, a NEMA network starter kit right here, and then I have this guy right here, which is the Lowrance Point 1. That'll actually go on the back of the boat. It's basically a small module, and what it does is on your graphs, they have an internal GPS, and it kind of shows you when you're pointed forward, but especially for some of that like brush pile fishing and things along those lines that I do, the Point 1 tells you exactly what direction your boat is pointed in. So if I line up on a waypoint that I got and I know there's a tree, say 30 feet ahead of me, when I see that blue line cross that dot that I have on my GPS, I know that boat is pointed exactly at it. I can just make a little cast right to it and I'll hit it every time. So that's what's really nice about that Point 1. It's one of those small things for being very specific when you're fishing very specific targets. So this is what rigging wires looks like. A lot of crawling in and doing that kind of stuff. Poor Mick. I should be helping him out right now.
Yeah, a fat old guy.
So the reason we're actually running those wires is I'm going to be putting an active target or a forward-facing sonar, my Lowrance active target, on this boat. That's this box right here. That's going to actually be mounted against the wall right in that rod locker, and then those wires will come up, pop through here, and go to my graphs that I have on the front of the boat, so I can have that forward-facing sonar. And hopefully I'm getting a 360 nose cone for this guy right here. Basically, you take that nose cone that's on the Ghost off and you put a structure scan nose cone on there, and I can get 360 on my Lowrance HCS Live. So we're gonna do a full walkthrough on this boat down the line, but I do wanna show you a couple of the options that I chose to get on it, because basically I chose what is the Nitro Z20, just the basic package, because I figured I can kind of rig it out and tweak it out, and with the help of my buds here at Cabela's, get it exactly how I want, just from that base model. So one of the coolest but simplest options that I went with is this right here. So you can see that's that sea deck kind of flooring. We got carpet back here, we got carpet on the front deck, but basically you can get it so that you have that sea deck flooring down in your sort of like cabin captain space. And what that does is that's super cleanable. You know, you're not gonna get the mold, you're not gonna get just goo and stuff. Plus you can use like various kind of light cleaning kind of products on it. So I can spray that with a little bit of soap, pressure clean it off, and get all that gunk out of there. And you don't got to worry about your shoes being dirty and dusty all the time, stuff just getting in there, plastics melting into the carpet. It gives you just a lot more functionality. The other option that I got too is a jack plate, and it's this guy right here. It's a TH Marine Atlas jack plate. So basically the Nitro comes with a setback manual jack plate, which you can see it's that black block right there, but the jack plate gives you some manual mobility on your 250 Pro XS or on your outboard motor. And what that's really nice for is a couple things. I'm not a speed demon by any means, but you can get more performance out of the motor using that jack plate, popping it up, popping it down. The other thing too is the reality is, whether it's Guntersville or Florida, I fish some shallow water, dude. Like the fish get there, that's where they're headed right now. It's spring, right? The spawn, they're staging, they're getting up shallow, and that jack plate allows you to pop that motor up so that you can pop up in some pretty skinny water, or you don't have to trim up when you're super shallow. You can just kind of find that sweet spot on the jack plate, pop that motor up, and just keep it down without actually adjusting the trim or the tilt. Yeah, you can see I'm kind of down low, down on the ground. I'm actually right behind my motor and my blue power poles right here. One of the things that I got is a transducer shield. A transducer shield is a mount for your structure scan or your what is it, the 3-in-1 active imaging transducer from Lowrance. And you can see it right here. The transducer shield mounts right up against the boat onto your manual jack plate, and it is just this metal, solid, super strong kind of apparatus. And then you mount your transducer right on there. Interestingly enough, you actually mount the transducer backwards. So if I had mounted this on on the bracket that it comes with, this wire would be facing forward. So one thing you need to do is once you get the boat up and running is you need to adjust your graphs so that it knows that this thing has been flipped around backwards. This is why we're doing the snaking right now. You have it right in your hand. Grab it tight.
Anyway, we can just feed it straight on back to me.
I hear it.
I hear it. I don't feel nothing yet though.
That's what she said. Whenever you get a jack plate on a boat, you need a way to operate it, right? So what I opted for are these guys right here. This is what's called blinker, tilt, and trim. You can see it. The reason it's called blinkers is because it sets up just like blinkers in your car.
You ready?
There we go, boys. So those are the optional features I got on this Joker. It is sick, dude. I'm not gonna lie, I'm super stoked about getting this thing rolling, dude. We probably have another probably half day or day of work to do. Between the wiring and all that, it seems like it'd be a pretty straightforward process, but it takes some time. You gotta snake wires, you gotta shift things around, we gotta get those precision sonar brackets on there, and then once we get to that point, I gotta take this thing out and tweak everything. You gotta dial in your electronics, you gotta dial in everything that we kind of mounted as extras and all that. So it's cool, but what's nice is I have a partner in crime. These guys have been super awesome about walking me through with every step that I need to take so that this boat runs, whether it's how to break in the motor, how to set up my ghosts, how to set up the graphs so that they're the wiring is the most efficient that we can do. It is awesome. That's kind of why I did this. I really like this Nitro boat. I like the way it's laid out, but it's about people too. And these guys working here are absolutely cool, super down to earth, and they've helped me through every step of the process. And I know in a week from now, a month from now, if I run into an issue or if I have a question or if I want to make a change, I can turn to them and I'm going to get that same kind of help. So hit that like and subscribe button. Everybody give a like for Mick, Grayson, and Jason. I brought them donuts, so screw the like, right? They'll eat the donuts and rig the boat, right? But hit that like and subscribe button. I will see you back when we have this thing rigged. Tight lines.